So, welcome back to the Coaches Corner podcast. I'm struggling to think what episode we're on. Probably about 10 now.
10, yeah.
We've got our favourite back, Sean. Turns out to be our only guest at the minute. We're struggling to get people on.
Oh, we've had Dan. We've had two.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
So you go Dan, I'm favourite.
Yeah,
just saying.
Second.
We're not flogging icon today, though.
No.
Sean was just stuck in accounts, and I said to him, "Do you want to come for a chat on a podcast?"
Rounding off.
Today's podcast, all we're mainly talking about is what we've been doing recently. So we've got our strength block that we've just finished. So how do you reckon that's gone between people on all sites?
Good. We've just been looking at loads and loads of PBs.
Yeah.
So we've noticed a few sort of long-termers that have been hitting some good PBs still, which is brilliant. So Shane hit PBs on his back squat and deadlift. Laura Ward hit PBs on both lifts as well. Not sure about shoulder press, I didn't actually check that. And then we've got newer members such as the young girls, so we've got Ava and Alexa, both 16, both hit PBs. Andy Ward hit PBs on nearly everything he's touched at the moment, which is brilliant because he had a bit of a slump in his training, I think it's fair to say. Busy with work and not getting there as often as he wanted, so that's been brilliant to see. Number of ladies, Ellie and Laura both hitting 115 kilograms
big weight
back squats. That's a
a
lot. We've just had a look through Hull's deadlifts. I think there was 6 guys.
Six at 200.
Over 200, 9 over 195.
Yeah.
Massive numbers, really.
For a CrossFit gym, that's
For everyday athletes, that is.
That's
yeah.
incredible.
All of those just sticking to 4 or 5 sessions a week consistently.
Yeah.
Is huge.
I think the ones that impress me the most are those ones where they've been here a long time, because as you know, the longer you've trained for, the much more difficult it is to keep hitting PBs. So like Laura Ward, I remember her aiming for 100.
Yeah.
Heron Haley and Dobber, I think,
Yeah.
it was all chasing that 100.
And I remember when Laura first got that. So the fact that she's then pushed on and still seeing increases is ridiculous, because my PBs don't.
I think we're all the same now. So, I think you are right. I mean, PBs, like we've just said, the first year they're quite constant because it is quite an intense training. Everything's new. I think after that you've really got to go to a special place to pull out PBs now. And I think can't remember, if I'm being honest, the last proper PB I had.
Something controversial is probably that some of those women mentioned are very stubborn women who don't give in. No, like that, it's a credit to them, to be fair, and that's a compliment, by the way, Lordy. That she's very stubborn. She rocks up. She does it as prescribed, no matter what.
Yeah.
With her wrists working or not, she's there every time. So fair play, Wardy.
It just shows as well. We always get quite a lot when, say, the sake of argument, now they've just done a new PB deadlift, new PB squat. We might not program that now for the next however many weeks, and it's why aren't we? I want to keep getting better. This just shows with all them people in Hull hitting 200 plus, you've got females hitting well over 100 kilo. It shows that you don't have to do a lineal program of strength. No.
Which was a lineal program. Actually.
It was, but you don't have to do months and months of it. We can do 8 weeks of fine-tuning technique, building up, peaking again. So I think that just goes to show the CrossFit methodology that we run, constantly varied.
Yeah.
That is the whole purpose of it.
Yeah, I think that Brough obviously are in the early days, so they'll see.
We're going through
some great PBs.
Yeah, they won't have the data yet there, because a lot of them will be testing for the first time.
But I would say, I think another thing to think about when we talk about the PBs is not just that, like you just said about CrossFit carrying over. Rob Shaw's just done, is it the 3 Peaks with a weighted vest on?
Yeah.
Samik's just done the London Marathon, but then come in on Saturday and smashed out chest to bar, butterfly pull-ups. He was doing some Saturday bench with us, and he repped out, I don't know if it was, he did 70 something, I think for 5. I'm not sure if he got 80, but I remember him starting on a Saturday after class with us and doing bench, claiming he couldn't get 60 kilos for 1. And it wasn't that long ago. It's not been with us that long, so that progression's there, but it does transfer over outside of the box.
Well, we forget that's the whole point of CrossFit, is just to make you better at sports outside of the gym. It is just meant to be something to accomplish. It's a training plan to help everything else, isn't it?
Yeah, so everyday life, everyday sports, everything you're doing. On this current training plan, you'll have seen sort of last week and this week, we're doing a lot of speed work. So speed work, I don't mean like we're squatting fast. It's low percentage work, but it's 3 every 2 minutes. And that came around real quick, didn't it?
Oh yeah,
today's deadlift was 3 plus 5 high box jumps every minute and a half. So they're coming around quick as well. So
tell you what,
shorter rest.
I'll take my hat off to Proven, because you're doing quite a heavy compound move and then a plyo explosive movement straight away, 30-inch jumps for multiple reps. You can't combo them 2 movements better, can you? For the desired intensity, and especially when we did the class workout, didn't we, the other week, when it was
last week, that one.
Squats. So 30 squats at
that was only Monday, mate. It's only Wednesday.
Oh God.
It's been a long
week. That was 2 days ago.
But again, with that volume and that weight, really cleverly planned out.
What would be good to see as well today on DT is, when you think about what DT is, pulling and pushing, how well the strength cycle will transfer over to that. So I had a few people this morning retest at the same weight and beat the scores. So we had 6 do that and beat the scores. Tony went RX today, wasn't feeling great, ended up beating a time by exactly a minute.
Wow.
And that's
percentage, isn't it?
That's 8 down to 7. So that's not like 12 down to 11. That's fast times.
A minute in that workout.
Yeah,
is a lot.
It is a lot. Yeah. Alison Davey retested at the same weight as of last time we did it, which was December 2023. So just 18 months ago, really, isn't it now, really? And she had nearly 2 minutes off her time.
Yeah.
Wow. What about your time, Al?
Yeah, so we'll move on. You know what? So I did DT, showing up on my diary. The last RX that it was about 2 years ago, year and a half ago. So I got 6 minutes something.
Did you?
Like 10, 15.
Were you tired this morning?
Yeah, I didn't do that today. I got 8 minutes 40 something.
Can't try hard every day though.
No, and you know what? I tipped up at the gym, not feeling great, tired, all these excuses, did it with Sully, and afterwards I thought, I did it. It's a workout I've done.
Never regret them.
I can just walk away now, and you're never ever going to PB everything, and I think once you get your mind set to it's okay not to.
Yeah.
I mean, we joke now, don't we? Once a week we try hard. I think that's now becoming once a month. But
2 days in a row, and I went out for a run last night.
Wow. Again.
No,
again.
You're so high rocks.
Zone 2 training.
And you're so gymnastics now as well, to be fair.
More changed.
Yeah. It was very boring. It took me forever because I had to run so slow to keep my heart rate really low.
So actually, you've sent me something this week, and it was it looked like you, just with hair a bit younger, doing a clean.
Oh yeah, when I was strong.
So you used to be relatively strong when it comes to a barbell.
Relatively strong.
You used to be relatively strong when it comes to a barbell.
Yep.
And I was pretty handy with a barbell. I don't think any of us are anywhere near where we were a few years ago.
10% rule. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah. Are you happy with where you are now?
Oh, it's a tricky one, that one. I think, so I had this conversation with someone before we did the strength phase, and I was like, the only area I'd be confident I could still get a PB right now would be anything from shoulder to overhead. Yeah. And I did PB my strict press.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Okay.
But obviously I don't really deadlift much anyway. Clean, I'd struggle to be within 10%, I reckon, on my clean, because I haven't done any heavy squat cleans in a while. My snatch, I would say, on the right day, I would still be there or thereabouts that 100 mark, and that's all I aim for.
I think for me, it's you say about the gymnastics thing. I don't think I'm specifically good at gymnastics now. I think I've now levelled out. So any workout, I can be competitive, but that also means my barbell work's probably dropped a little bit.
Yeah.
Which I'm happy with it, and that's the whole point of CrossFit, is a more overall athlete as you would.
Yeah.
But some days I do miss slinging big weights about.
We'd just have to do a proper strength cycle. If we wanted to get our clean number back, we'd have to be focused in on that, because at this point it's not really a technique thing.
No, it's just volume, isn't it?
Yeah, it's that we're not doing that, but like you said, to be with that 10%, then
yeah. So we'll talk about my little 10% rule, because I mentioned it to the class the other day, and somebody was like, "Really glad you mentioned that. That's just put me miles, like so much at ease on that class." And what I always say to anybody is, on any given day, if you're within 10%, even after a strength block, if you're within 10% of your old PB, that's a pretty good day, because there's so many things that can impact your training on any given day. Stress, we can only take so much stress on, and those outside influences such as work, family, divorces, etc., can make such an impact on how your body's coping for that day. Then you've got the nutrition to counter that one. Have you just been away for Carlham Stag Do?
Yep.
Yeah. Are these all your excuses? Is this therapy to you?
Can you tell it's all coming out? Sleep.
Yeah, big
sleep
one.
Really well.
Biggest one.
Yeah, biggest one. So all those sort of things that can impact how you train on that given day. So if we can always be as close to that 10%, obviously if you can go better, even that's obviously the goal when we're training. But if you're not quite there, but you're within 10%, I always take that. I'm like, that's not bad for what's been happening over the last week, the weekend you've just had. You might have been on a big boozing session. Say you might have been you might have literally been at work doing overtime. You're going in for an extra weekend. How are you going to perform on Monday? It's probably going to have a massive impact because of what you've done that weekend. So any given day, 10%, give yourself a little pat on the back.
My theory goes into that as well, and going from like a previous strength background, I think everything's on mindset. So I think if you're going into the gym thinking I'm not going to be hitting this number because of these factors as well, you're never going to be hitting that number.
You just have to accept it's life.
Yeah.
We've seen really good athletes who are at uni or working part-time or whatever else get a real job. I say a real job, like a 9-to-5 full-time job, and the training falls off the cliff, the fitness falls off the cliff to where they was at. But you've got to accept that, and the majority of our members are 21, 22 at uni having loads of time to train. They have full-time parents as well as full-time jobs, so there's loads and loads of things that can impact what you're doing.
I was thinking confidence when you were chatting a minute ago, just before you said that a mental thing. Like, when I say I won't be near my clean now, it's partially, I think, you get to a point where you just know it's a heavy number.
Yeah.
And you can talk yourself out of even attempting it. It's like you put an extra, like the little silver 0.5s on a plate, and you go from hitting a PB and getting somewhere to it not even coming off the floor, and you're like, that's not
mindset,
the number, that is just a mindset. And that
we
is
talked
a tricky
about
one.
that on some earlier podcasts, haven't we, where we were saying like, one thing I do when I work out is I'm always talking like positive. Like there's never a doubt where today got through that first round, it was heavy, and I thought, that would kind of better.
We actually mentioned this yesterday with chest, didn't we?
Yeah. And then as the rounds went on, I finished the third round of the deadlift. I'm like, I'm over halfway. This is all right. This I've done half the work. I can do half the work. I checked the clock. I thought, it's not going to be too bad. This talk positive into it all the way through it. Even running workouts, I'm like, well, there's only 2 runs left to go out with a 5 run.
I just pretend I'm dead.
Sounds like he was dead.
Fake an injury.
He faked cough yesterday.
For mindset, I train that young lass, 16-year-old, just going through her GCSEs, and it's a stressful time for the kids, isn't it? She come to me, and with it all going on and everything, she just said, I'm not going to worry, I'm just going to enjoy my competition this year. I'm going to take it as a year off. She's performed better because of that mindset of, I've got a lot going on, so I'm not going to take it overly seriously, and she's a proper athlete. What a refreshing thing for a 16-year-old to be like, you know what, I'm just going to enjoy the moment.
Yes.
I took a lot from that, thinking, how many times do we get a little bit, I don't know, tied into the moment, thinking we need to do better, we need to do this.
Yeah. And do you think if somebody was listening to this podcast who's got no CrossFit experience will think, what are they talking about? They're not going to Olympic Games, they're not going to compete. But because you work hard at the lifts and you don't do CrossFit if you're not slightly competitive or want to improve.
We've talked about this before, the whiteboard is whiteboard is a powerful tool.
People say, oh no, I do it for this. Nobody just does it for that, because if you wanted to just do it to keep fit, you go steady somewhere else, whereas like people do push hard. So to see those PBs and increases do make a lot to people because you're working hard for it, and it's 8 weeks as well. It's not like you've just done one class, it's 8 weeks and you're turning up consistently, you're hitting those. And let's be honest, what's harder, hitting one heavy lift or doing those percentages?
Oh yeah, all day long.
Percentages are so much harder, aren't they? And people are grinding them out and they are seeing the results from them, which is brilliant.
Yeah, I think you had people getting PBs on the weightlifting as well, didn't you, recently?
Yeah. We've had loads of PBs.
So it just shows how everything transfers over. But even just talking about doing deadlifts and then the high box, and you think of like the snatch and the explosiveness, like everything transfers over. So even if you're not necessarily working on something at the time, you are.
And this is where we talk about bang for your buck as such, is that you're going to get so much more than doing just a deadlift, a heavy. I used to work at like 80-90% deadlift and just work on speed. Doesn't transfer over to anything apart from a deadlift. And that's because there was no plyo work, there was no high volume, there was nothing transfers over.
Yeah, he saw the light and came to the Lord.
Yeah, he loves it, doesn't he?
But yeah, you try training at 90% for like 9 weeks.
I'm a fat away from an injury at the moment.
So, but no, we've had some amazing work, and I'm looking forward to see the next 8 weeks and see where that goes.
6 weeks is block.
6 weeks.
Yeah, because it's tapering to the Community Cup, which is another event CrossFit are putting on. So in the Open, I haven't actually made any notes on this, but in the Open, you were given a point.
Yep, ranked.
So 1 to 10. So 1 to 2, I believe, is called rookie.
Oh, yeah.
3 to 4, skilled, let's call it. 4 to 5, intermediate. 7 to 8, RX. 9 to 10, elite.
I think
something around
7
there.
7 to 8 is advanced, 9 to 10 is elite.
Oh, is it? Yeah. So then called the RX.
6 is either intermediate or RX.
Right, so I've not used the word RX, but yeah. So basically, there's 4 categories. So depending on where you were, the Community Cup is you getting to compete against everyone around the world in your category. So like when you compete in the Open, you literally compete against everyone, and you are ranked against everyone. So the Community Cup is sort of bringing those brackets down, so you are competing against people
very
of
cleverly
your ability.
Levels, isn't it? I think like 7 and 8 are against each other.
Yeah. So every bracket is 2 different levels. So you compete against everybody. So that will be really good. I was listening to Castro saying the other day that they didn't have the time to develop an age category within the levels.
Okay. It'd be interesting.
Which would be really good.
It would, but it'd be interesting to see how it doesn't go.
But the levels should still work. Whether you're 14 year experienced and you're 20 you're new, and you've come within the same sort of spaces in the Open, you should be competitive against each other. Obviously, being able to filter it down is probably really just going to rub people's ego. I think more than anything.
I think the levels is perfect because that's going to tell you ability, your actual fitness, and your skill level. They should all be quite similar. Like I'd say a 7 and an 8. They're going to be able to do the bar muscle ups. They're going to be able to do a good clean, good snatch. Whereas I think if you go 3 to 4, then all their scaling options should be roughly the same as well. So I don't reckon age will come into it at all.
What I don't know is if they are sort of doing a workout and goes, here's your scale options, or
it's just competitive.
Novice is this is your workout. Yeah. Then you've got your foundation. This is yours. Your intermediate, your advanced, and your elite, or whatever it is. That they give designated workouts.
That's how
I presume that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Or do you reckon they'll just do one workout and then rank you in that group?
They shouldn't do.
No.
Because if they're going to get you to do that, it should be. Let's say
we're open, isn't it?
We are elite.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm just joking.
Are you not?
No, I'm good. I'm 8.
Don't put me in that bracket.
I'm 8.
Okay. So okay. So let's say my workout is 5 bar muscle ups, 3 squat snatches, and a 500 meter row. Yours might be 1 bar muscle up, same squat snatches, but at a slightly lighter weight.
Yeah, just what I like.
But it should be set. Each category should be set. I would have thought, and I think they will.
Yeah, and then it'll drop to chest to bar, or
as you go through, you could come down. Yeah, it definitely should do. So that will be programmed on the classes as well.
Okay.
So we'll
and I think the Community Cup's a buy-in as well, isn't it?
Yeah, so $20, same as the Open. And I think we're definitely going to do it on the classes. So if you're attending the classes, it makes sense to do that, so you can sort of have an idea of how you are.
I'll sign up. It's the first year. Imagine if this carried on and you missed the first year sign up.
Yeah, FOMO.
Yeah.
Like I say, it'll be programmed on the classes. So I think why not?
It's just over 1 week.
I know it's $20, but that's a round of beers nowadays.
So we also have new classes that's gone on. If we're talking about things coming up, we've started the High Reps class. That is, I think I did the first Tuesday.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Loved it. I think everyone on the class loved it as well, mostly. And then we've gone on from Saturdays. Being on Saturday, it looked busy then.
Yeah, so Saturday, it's replaced the Assault Fit, which was very high roxy, shall we say. But it's more specific to the movements that you will do in a high rocks class. So the fitness side of it is still the same. But like we've been doing a lot of farmers carries, walking lunges, bar hanging, which everybody was like, why bar hanging?
Yeah.
If there's one way to increase that grip strength is hang on that bar 30 to 45 seconds. It was good for the first round and people really started struggling. If you can hold your body weight.
We were saying this, imagine I've got to carry 2 30 kilo dumbbells. If I'm hanging from a bar, I've got 50 kilo in each hand.
Yeah, and that's going to transfer back to your CrossFit as well, isn't it? Like,
completely.
Your gymnastics are going to improve if your grip strength.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Today's workout, DT, full on grip strength.
Yeah. So high rocks has been good.
Yeah, just looking at numbers. Yeah, so numbers have been good across all classes. We're still waiting on the sleds turning up and the tracks turning up. So we have ordered them. There is a bit of a delay sorting out the paperwork, but I was hoping they'd be here for the weekend. As it happens, we've got Murph, so it probably doesn't matter too much that they're not here for this weekend. So they should be here for the following week. So we've got each site's got sled track with 2 sleds with the ropes and everything, so we can add a little bit more into it. And there's a couple of new ski eggs, one for each site being ordered as well.
Cool. And I think there is also some running clubs happening on the weekends. Just to add to this, it's not specifically programmed through the gym.
Yeah, no, we're not running it. It's kind of the members have led it, really.
Yeah, which is good to see, isn't it?
Yeah, I was supposed to turn up on Sunday.
Funny.
As it happens, I was busy. But yeah, so Austin, Rich, and Chris seem to be taking the lead on it.
Yeah.
Just posting in the group, going to run from the gym. I think they've all been from the gym at the moment, to be honest.
I think Daisy and Si do roughly the same thing over in Hull as well.
Yeah, because they run each week. So there's one basically going at both sites. There's no like you have to be able to run this set of pace, this set of pace. It's run with everybody as a group. So you run with the slowest person. And I was taking a piss out of Zone 2, but those who are looking to try to increase some capacity, Zone 2 training is proven to be fantastic. So if you go out running and you're like, this is a bit slower than my normal pace, you probably don't realise how beneficial it is.
So explain what Zone 2 is very quickly, because it is really important, but sometimes if people are training in Zone 2, they feel like they're not doing anything.
Yeah, so Zone 2 is just going to help that overall capacity. So when we're working out, most people think, if you go think about school, you get aerobic and anaerobic. Most people will be looking at a barbell, slinging it around and think, this is anaerobic. But actually, you're always in some sort of aerobic phase. Just living and breathing, you're aerobic. So having a bigger pot to pull on is going to help everything. So to do Zone 2 training, you need to bring the heart rate down. So if you wear Whoop or a Garmin or whatever Apple Watch, you'll be able to work it out on there, because it should have your max heart rate from the workouts if you've got a bit of data in there. And then there's different equations as well. You can use ChatGPT to give you an equation.
But if you don't have them, they say Zone 2 is just where you can have a full
conversation. Yeah. So for me, it was around the 135 to 148 roughly. And there's different equations. They're slightly different. One will just use your max heart rate. One will use your resting heart rate and your max heart rate, so it's looking at the overall scope. So your numbers might differ slightly if you use that, but there's loads of ways to work it on if you literally just Googled it.
So how long would it take to get benefit from that?
I don't know the answer to that, I'm perfectly honest.
They say it's about 40 minutes plus.
Oh, do you mean time duration?
Yeah, sorry,
I thought you meant how long you have to do it. Oh yeah, workout anywhere between 30 and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Anywhere, obviously the more you do, the chances are your heart rate is going to creep up more and more.
They're just quite long, boring pieces, aren't they?
They are, yeah. And I did one yesterday in the sun, and instantly I could, watching my heart rate, I knew it was high at very, very similar paces, because I was looking at my 1K split times, but I was in absolute boiling hot sun.
So I did it.
Willoughby Road.
I did months of it for that Reynolds comp last year, and I used to do it on the bike, and used to sit there happily on the bike, and I tried going for a run and doing it. I couldn't get more than a fast walk before I was going into Zone 3. And I wouldn't say that's because I'm unfit, which I am probably, but it's just I'm not conditioned to running. So I struggled with zone 2.
Running's a different thing, innit? Yeah. Running on treadmill versus running outside.
So I've just quickly Googled that whilst I was talking about it. So obviously 30 to 40 minute sessions, like I was saying, but it typically takes 2 to 4 weeks of consistent zone 2 training to start seeing noticeable improvements. However, the exact time frame can depend on an individual's fitness. So what I was talking about yesterday when I was running with Ellie is I wonder how quick a good runner, let's say a good runner being a gym member like Michelle, Chris, Sully, Plummer, those types who are pretty quick on a runner. I wonder what their pace of a K is, maintaining zone 2 to what mine is, because I know I'm not a good runner. I wonder how quicker they are, but can still maintain that zone 2. Interesting to know.
Hit zone 5 really quickly and running. You never see me in zone 5 enough.
And that's one of the reasons I've started doing a bit, because somebody asked, "Oh, you got any comps to work to?" I was like, "No, I ain't got anything actually." And I thought, well, what can I work on? Just to give me something to do. So I thought, I know that, again, like you say, zone 2 is non-existent in my CrossFit at all, because I go from 90 beats, 150, 160, nothing in between. So doing that zone 2 training will develop.
So I was watching a podcast with Training Think Tank about this exact thing, and they were saying that if you did it for it's really hard to get this zone 2 where you run in 6-7 weeks in, you'll notice a difference on a workout such as like Murph. Like a long slog where your heart rate just won't peak up. So you'll constantly be recovered. And it is them long endurance workouts where
you can see the benefit.
If we jump into zone 4 and 5, you can sit there and you think, I've gone out too hot and I've got 30 minutes left. Shit. And you're holding on for dear life. It would be brilliant to not be there.
Yeah, I was saying it's a good option for people, because we should all do it, and you should try and fit one in once a week. People who train 5 days a week, you would know who we are. But slotting zone 2 in the middle of that week, if you're not wanting to take a rest day, but doing it less intense.
There's so much evidence now that is saying you need to do your zone 2 to improve your overall capacity, which is what CrossFit is, isn't it? Where capacity across.
It's that balance of mental health versus physical health, in terms of I think Laura maybe mentioned it last night, didn't feel like coming in, but then came in and felt so much better mentally for doing it, even though she didn't push herself to the intensity that she always goes to. I think that's a social
aspect as well, isn't it?
Yeah, so but just doing something like that at that pace is actually more beneficial than coming in 5 days a week and being in zone 4, 5. And
already after 3 tough days of CrossFit and a zone 2 run last night, my body's going, you need a rest day tomorrow. I'll probably sit on the bike and do a little bit more zone 2. I'm trying to do 2 sessions a week, so if I can do that, low impact, low heart rate, have a rest day, train Friday, ready for Murph on Saturday.
And that'll lead us nicely into
like that.
We've got Murph on Saturday.
So smooth, it's like you've done this before.
So I was a bit upset. I've been called in for work this weekend. So we had the Move class. Who did a modified mini Murph session. So I thought, what better time to join them
and do Murph?
And I did a Murph then.
Nice.
On his own.
To be fair,
don't need that, do you?
PB'd it. It was a PB, 46 minutes, which for me, for a 2 mile waddle with a weighted vest on, I was quite happy. But doing Murph in a big class, there's no atmosphere like it. I don't think it's the one workout of the year.
Absolutely brilliant. And I ask the class all the time on the lead up to it, are you doing Murph? Why are you doing Murph? Don't worry about it. Scale it, do it with a partner, have a bit of fun. The last 2 years we've had 50 people do it at once, and it's been manic. We've got 22 pull-up bars. So some people have gone, okay, we'll share this pull-up bar, that's fine. It's 5 reps if you do the typical 5, 10, 15 split of Murph. And it's worked really, really well. I know this year's going to be quieter because there's some
stag and hens on
the stag and hen this weekend with some of our members. So I think there's about 5 or 6 of them off to Sam and Russell's stag do. I believe it's Anna's hen do on the Saturday as well. So we'll be missing a few, but if we can get the numbers anywhere around the 30, that'll be a brilliant session.
I mentioned it this morning. Brough are also doing it.
Yeah, they're doing it Friday night.
And there was a few people quite. I'll tell you what, when you hear Murph as a workout and stuff before you've done it, it is daunting. It's a lot of big numbers out there, 100, 200, 300
when you
miles.
say it that way. It is when you say it.
About 10-15.
Yeah, it's such a different mental mindset.
They were nervous, but they're excited as well. And I'd love to be in that first Murph class just to.
So I'll be going down on Friday. So after Ted's martial arts, I'm going to go down. So we should catch the end of the workout, and then everyone's going for a few beers in Blackers.
I was just going to say, there's a reason you're turning up at the end.
Yeah.
I'm a responsible parent, and I don't drink when I'm with my children. Actually,
yeah, but you like food.
So
I do like food.
Have we got food on Saturday? What's happening for Murph?
Barbecues, so burgers.
Both sites?
Both sites, yes. So the barbecue that's lived in the reception nearly all year, that went back home. Now has to come back. I might be pushing it at Willoughby Road. So yeah, I need to get the barbecue back. Yes, and then we've got a table booked. I don't know what a whole lot of doing. I presume they'll be going Sutton Fields way on. But Charlotte's booked a table at Beech Tree for 2 p.m.
Boom.
So people can go for an afternoonsy.
Very jealous.
Yeah.
I have got big FOMO.
Yeah.
Well,
it's good, isn't it?
I hope it goes well.
It's brilliant. Yeah, it's brilliant.
I hope more people
I hope more people get involved.
You know what? I couldn't even tell you one Murph time I've done. I don't think I ever really record them.
No.
I've done it with vest, without vest, different rep schemes. The last 2 times me and Rich have partnered up and probably done a fast walk rather than.
It's really nice partnering up and doing it.
Yeah.
I've never done it partnered.
So it's good as well.
I'd probably get
you get
Chris
to look
or someone.
Look across the room at someone who's been foolish enough to try and do it unpartitioned,
which I did last year.
Yeah, so,
and I said to Shaq, we'll work on this and we'll do it again next year. And I mentioned it to him, I went, I'm fucking doing that again. I was like, you're right, because I sat on that aeroplane the next day with Ted, and I felt like the most irresponsible parent, thinking, I'm flying my son all the way across to Thailand, and I may well give. Yeah, the next day we got on the plane to Thailand. I thought I could have given myself rhabdo, and I'll be in a Thai hospital. I was panicking so much. I literally did not sit still on that flight because I was panicking.
Just want to mention that Murph will not necessarily give you rhabdo.
No.
Don't start panicking.
Well, I managed to do it unpartitioned.
Can you remember when we talked to someone about rhabdo, and whoever it was, you saw the face drop and be like, "Oh my god, we can get that." It was like, no, you can't, but people can get it.
Yeah.
In a class.
That would be pretty silly too.
I think you'd struggle to do it. So
they say people do it who leave CrossFit and then come back after 6 months.
Try and be.
Or high level athletes. Let's say you're a high level powerlifter, and you come and do a movement that you're not used to. Let's say you line a kipping pull up and you're doing hundreds of kipping pull ups in one day.
Yeah, it's that.
Or I'm pretty certain there's actually a top level powerlifter who did it with GHDs. Because she's got the strength and the capacity, she didn't realise the impact it was going to have on her. This is over in America a long time ago. Steffi somebody. Anyway, so yeah, for the normal person who comes to the gym, it's very, very unlikely you'd get it.
Well, you didn't.
I didn't get it.
10 years plus of being in the CrossFit scene, and when I first got into CrossFit, that was the thing that people used to slag off CrossFit with. It was like I don't want to say bodybuilders, but other sports was using it to sort of put down CrossFit, and I'm thinking in probably 12 years plus that I've been around it, I don't know anyone personally really who's ever had it.
I know one person who's had it, and it was that guy who bear crawled across the Humber Bridge.
That's going to do it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bear crawled across the Humber Bridge. He did it for this Forces charity. I remember because I biked past him and I thought some crackheads crawling along the bridge, and then I saw all the charity banners. Thought, good on you, mate, and come back and someone was like, "He's in hospital," in a really bad way.
So I think it's just it's a bit of a myth that you will get that from doing CrossFit. It's not CrossFit that causes that. It's
stupidity. That was a bit of a
stupidity usually.
And then we've got another workout, and it's the first time we would have done this at both sites.
Yeah. So
Damo's workout.
Yeah. So Damo was a member at Barbaric, and his missus, I don't know if it was married to be honest, Talia.
I think they were.
Yeah, is now a member at CrossFit Hull after Barbaric closed. So she's asked if we can do Damo's workout again. So he was a good friend of Sam and quite a few members down there as well. So we're going to do Damo's workout back end of June as his remembrance workout. So
that's brutal.
Yeah. Well, it should be because that's what they're for. That's all I do. It's
a
hero workout, isn't it?
So
it's Barbaric's hero workout. So we're going to do that since we've got quite a few of the members now.
It's nice to take that kind of on as well. If you look at Hull,
be honoured to do it. Really.
We have got a lot of Barbaric members, and I think this is the one nice thing about CrossFit. I know we always say the community, but to do stuff like that and bring that as part of our gyms now as respect for not just Damo but Talia and all the other members. I'm looking forward to doing it.
Yeah, we're good. The final sort of way we're doing it, I believe we're going to do it just at home.
Yeah.
I think make an event of it.
Yeah, so, it'd be nice for everyone to get there as well.
We'll email everyone's details as always. Then we've got the beach comp, July. Yes. I'll be honest, tickets still left.
Well, we're after we've got a Brough team in now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice.
Yeah, and we've got someone messaged today asking for a male to join a team of 4. So if anyone wants it and this goes out, message me straight away.
So we have put a deadline on tickets for the end of this month.
Yeah.
So June has 30 days, doesn't it? So
it's going to be a good day. 2 days.
Maybe.
There you go.
Maybe.
First.
If not, we'll be just doing the one day. I think the one day event will work better.
I think one day would be.
I do. I've got a call with council tomorrow about it. And then that's July's event. August, we've now slotted another event in. We seem to do a lot of fundraisers. On August the 9th is the 12 and 12.
Yes.
Great day, really. It sounds horrific.
It is.
We are doing Alex's pull out the hat this year. So we will program different workouts, and you do basically one workout on the hour every hour. So it's a lot of volume every hour. But last year was just a great laugh, wasn't it? Second year we've done it was last year. First year it was good, bit unknown, didn't know what to expect. Remember April was just bouncing around the place, giving everyone hype energy.
Yeah. That was brilliant. The first experience I've had of like excitable April, and I loved it. Yeah. She really did liven everyone up.
And then last year, because we did the draw out of a hat type of thing, every hour was just another laugh on it.
Yeah, it was always a repeating movement.
It
was just without fail.
And we tried to go push, pull, squat, push, pull, squat.
There was 75 workouts to pick from,
and we did every
pull-up workout
in a row.
It was good. It's the only time you see me at 6 a.m. as well.
Yeah.
And I always laugh at you saying that.
I think the first year, we had 13 complete. I think last year we had 20. There's a picture, about 22 people complete, all 12. So we'll be doing that again.
And the main thing on that one is money. Ruthless.
Well, so we are going to try to put out for some sponsorship to sponsor each workout.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Because I do feel like obviously we've got Murph, we've got that, and now there's another one that's just been added in, which again we're going out to sponsors for. We're always drawing from the same pool of people.
Yeah.
And obviously people have got expensive bills. Everything's going up all the time. So
we can call favours in, can't we, for charity?
So between...
I'm sure I'll get that call.
Between the 12 and 12 and... This is why you're on the podcast.
Committed.
Between the 12 and 12 and then on the bank holiday weekend, August the 21st, Steve, whose studio we're in now, has somehow taught me into helping him organise a music mini festival, should we call it. So acoustic acts during the day and some DJs playing on the night. All those guys are playing for free, which is absolutely amazing. So we're trying to drum up some sponsorship from businesses. Obviously they'll get the name on the flyers and mentioned in everything that we talk about, and to basically pay for a stage and the PA setup. That's the plan, really. Depending where it is, depends on how we can charge for entry.
Yeah,
I think just a £5 donation would be brilliant.
Oh.
But we are looking at a couple of different venues and see what they can offer.
But if you have a look at when we went to street session, the people don't mind paying for.
Our street session at £5 anymore, is it? It's a lot more money.
But that's what I mean. If you go in somewhere and you've got live music and a group of people, £5 is nothing.
No. Like, again, I always go back to it's not even a beer nowadays, is it?
Not, is it?
So we can raise some money again, and this is all working with Paul for Brain, which we work with now for years. We do the move humper stuff with Paul for Brain. I just think the work that they do with people who acquire brain injuries, whether it's through strokes, heart attacks, falls, attacks, there's loads of reasons why I want to support them more and more.
The work they do is, I go back to just before I'd even become a coach and jumped in on that class with you, working with them. I genuinely left almost in tears just because of the guys there are insane. Like the work they do. And I have to laugh at people moaning when they come in the gym normally, and you think, you don't know how lucky you are just to be able to come in and moan.
Yeah. And talking about those guys, so the Paul for Brain 10K, they are there to run 10K. So last year we said, look, we'll just set off with everybody, we'll walk, we'll see how far we get, about 40 minutes, and make sure we're at the finish line roughly the same time as everyone else. So last year we did 1.2k. This year we did 1.6k.
Nice. Okay.
So next year I've challenged them to do 2 miles.
Wow.
So what's that in k's?
3.2.
Quick maths.
He said it confidently. I'm taking.
I'm taking that board.
0.6 is a mile, isn't it?
Okay.
3.2.
So they're having to up it again. So as part of the training that we're working on is walking. But again, because it's CrossFit, we can't just walk, can we? We carry kettlebells, pick things up, drop things off, pick them up. So we're doing loads of work with them guys, and the goal is that we can hit 2 miles. So we might have to start before them, is what I'm thinking.
2 miles will be an impressive achievement when
you see on the gym.
Yeah, if you see how was it Kev who couldn't stand up even unsupported last year and a half ago?
Probably a couple of years ago now. He came in and we used to have to be
stand behind him.
And now he's around the gym, he's doing his own thing.
Yeah.
We don't have to. And today was brilliant on his feet.
And someone took the first step the other day. Anita.
So we're gonna buy some parallel bars, see if we can get her moving. We've been doing some work. She had a stroke, so we're trying to get that left leg working. Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
But that is when we talk, and we do looking at this list as well, and just saying how busy we are all year round for charity stuff, and we do donate money from them. It's because we have a direct connection to these people, and it definitely brings it home. So we may annoy you at times. There is a good reason why we annoy you.
Might sound like a beggar.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, if you look on the Move Humber page on Instagram and stuff, you for a second you'll be like, I get it.
Yeah.
I do get it.
100%.
It's good.
And
So once that's out of the way, we've got September same-sex pairs in September. That we're going to do the same format as the April one, so in-house, partner up.
Nice.
We'll put you into the right categories, which I think worked really well. I think we said before, didn't we? John and Nat probably got the rough end of the deal on that one, but they're capable and they still did pretty good all round. And then summer ball, but we've just closed after the gym off, so I'm not sure where that's going to go. We'll come back to you on that one.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the little room's gone.
Take the wall down just for the summer ball.
Just use Jack's. Jack's lovely gym. Yeah. So that's everything coming up. And obviously we do this to try to get as much of the community involved as possible. I don't want to be there on my own dancing with Pete at summer ball.
I
Say we've had a good year, Pete.
That's how it ends each year.
To be fair though, the you must have been to the summer ball or the Christmas or anything. They're amazing, aren't they? They're
really good nights.
A really good laugh.
Bongo Bingo was.
Oh, Bongo Bingo. So Humber's 10 next year.
Oh no.
Something special.
Bongo Bingos will come back. But
Rosanna as a coach.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm working that night.
Okay, look lovely in a frock.
Yeah, well,
I'll sponsor that one.
there you go. Do anything.
Again, I don't know how much the neighbours appreciate us runners at Bongo Bingos.
Fuck 'em.
I might actually, do you know what? Generally, I might just have a proper word with them and say, look, it's our 10th birthday. It's going to be one. We'll be finished for midnight. Ish.
This is to everyone. What's the point if they complain anyway?
Yeah.
I'd rather say sorry than ask for permission.
Yeah, true. I won't ask for permission.
Just let them know that's what we're doing.
Just so you know, this is what's happening. It's our 10th birthday. It's a one-off. Yeah. If you want to come for a drink, come for a drink. If you want to see me run around in a dress, we'll do that as well. So anyway,
that's it. So realistically, the last couple of months we've had loads of progress from all the members across all 3 sites now. We're really starting to see some gains, and it's just showing that members who have been with us for a decade are still making use of the gym.
My magic word.
One last update for you that just came into my mind. There's a muscle up workshop coming on.
Yes, Dan and Dan, the 2 Dans are running a muscle up workshop. I will try to give you the dates right now.
So the whole point of these workshops is it's just a little bit more one-on-one time. So it's going to be quite a small class, maybe 10 people, 15 people. But it's going to be an hour, 2 hours dedicated to that one movement.
Yeah,
They'll give you homework, scaling options. We'd love to spend this much time on every class, but gymnastics is a very one-on-one specific thing to help you with your cues. So
so that's the 31st of May, 10:15 at CrossFit Hall. And that's up to any member though.
Yeah.
I say any member. There is some prerequisites because you could come and try onto a muscle up workshop, and if you can't do a pull up,
I think the prerequisite they've got is five chest to bars.
5 kipping chest to bars, and then you'll get the most out. You'll have the strength to do the drills as well. That's the difference. There's been nothing more deflating than going thinking I'll get a muscle if you haven't got the basics. So keeping pull ups, chest to bars. Then let's work on those.
And the workshops that we have done previously, there've been really good feedback from people.
There'll be more workshops coming this year as well. And I believe the goal is to, if we do a workshop on bar muscle ups in May, we'll also do a bar muscle up workshop in June.
Yeah, and follow
so
that on.
You've been given some things to go work with, work on them for 4 weeks, come back, see how that goes. It might not be Dan and Dan who run it, but the idea is that. And then say August might be just a bar workshop. You'll have some drills to go away, practice, we'll revisit it. Yeah. Because what we noticed last year is we were just doing these monthly and changing it every month, and we never actually revisited it. So that's what we're doing.
Cool.
Go on. Let's wrap it there. Got school runs to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you, and we'll be back next week. See you later.